Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Gyle here, and welcome back to the Forged Alliance Forever promotional series. Happy Election Day, everybody. That is, of course, if you live inside the EU. If you don't, you won't know what on earth I'm talking about. But for those of us that do and have a passion for current events, the next 4 days are likely to have us condemned to news coverage featuring different constituencies around Europe turning one colour or another. But if you'd fancy some interesting viewing, I've got some Subcom for you instead. It's going to be a custom 4v4, and it's all going to go down on hilly plateaus. So let's go on over to the game zone and see how these guys are going to get on. And I'm very happy to report it is pro level as well, so not a Joe in sight in this one. Expect brilliance. No pressure, guys. Anyway, we'll call this Team 1 up here at the top, and this Team 2 down here at the bottom. Going first for Team 1, my personal favourite, Zap Brannigan. Now there's a freaking name. One of the arguably finest character creations to come out of just about any animation on the history of the planet. You look like a girl who appreciates the finer things in life. Come here and feel my velour bedspread. I love me some Zap Brannigan. So 10 points to you, whoever you are who's stolen that name. That's awesome. Anyway, he's going UEF in Ferrari Red, opening first land. And to his south down here, we've got Lexstock. He's gone Mellow Yellow, and Cybrin opening first land, already on the move there. To his right, we've got Strogo. He's having a little cigarette break there before he starts work on his Hydro. He's gone Pontiff White, Seraphim, and opening first land. And last but not least for Team 1, seen a lot of this guy recently. He's been playing a lot. It's Jolly, and he's gone Cyanide Scion, Aeon, opening first land. So no early Air Factories craziness going on at the beginning of this one for Team 1. Let's take a look at Team 2 down here at the bottom in baby pink. It's TGX's Legend Lore. Hasn't got rid of those clan tags yet. I don't blame him, actually, because I think that was TGX Icy in yesterday's game, or whenever it was, which has been renamed Icy Nightmare, because obviously since the clan tags came in, people were able to drop that from the front of their name. But someone else had already taken Icy, and it's someone else who doesn't play, the poor guy. But never mind, Legend Lore, he's keeping those other clan tags in front. There he is, he's gone Baby Pink on UEF and opened first land. Above him in Halley Orange Orange, he's vacated his base already. He's got UEF, it's Mephi, and he's moving towards the middle, and he's opened first land. And to his left in Baby Blue, the one and only, the quintessential Voodoo, he's gone Aeon, opening first land, still sticking it out in his base for now. And last but not least, it's Renzilla. Good man that he is. Haven't seen much of this guy for a while because he's been off studying. He did actually tell me what it is he is studying, and I was sorry I asked because it gave me a brain hemorrhage just listening to some kind of, I don't know. Answers in the comments section below if you're watching, Renz. Tell us all what you're studying again. Anyway, he's gone Cybrin in Elephantine Grey and opened first land, second air. So a nice little bit of early air coming out from him. Good to see him playing again. We missed you, bro. But anyway, let's take a look at the middle of the field. Lexstock, the first to arrive, going to get his greedy Cybrin hands on probably more than his fair share of mass. We do have Strogo walking in. No, it's not Strogo. What am I talking about? Strogo? Gyle! Strogo's coming in from behind him. Geography going haywire on this one. It's Mephi coming into the middle. Strogo just behind Lexstock, so it's looking like it's going to be a little bit of a 2v1 affair AC-wise in the middle, potentially a 3v1, although Voodoo joining the picture to the southwest as well. Mephi gets to work, quickly harvesting some mass, and we're off. ACU start blapping away at one another. Strogo focusing mainly on Mephi, allowing Lexstock to scoop the body of the mass. Strogo predominantly concerned with driving Mephi off the field. Of course, we do have this other little group of mass back here, so all is not lost. Of course, if he doesn't actually get driven all the way back to his base. Voodoo going to throw an upgrade on his con there, but that might be bad timing. If this little push continues from Team 1, Mephi already down to around 60% HP. Voodoo could be forced to abandon that, but it's not going to carry on. I think they're primarily concerned with just trying to scoop up this mass here, so they have a place to fall back to. Meanwhile, Jolly clearing up the other big rocks a little bit further back, and definitely the aggression coming out here for Team 1. Team 2 losing out early territory and reclaim in this one. Strogo throwing down that PD there. He's up to around 900 HP on that to 1300. That's going to go green and go complete. There we go. And that's going to make it even tougher for Team 2 to get their hands on their fair share of mass. And that was the T2 engineering upgrade on Voodoo, so I might have spoken too soon. Immediately throws down a point defense. He's building that incredibly quickly, and that's going to give him that much berth. So Strogo going to have to back on up out of there. And we've even got some air coverage coming in from Legend Lore as well. Little UEF T1 bomber there landing a bomb on top of that unit of PD. Mephi takes down that mech. Still, that PD is online, though. They're going to want to finish off that pretty quickly. The Oblivion turret will be trained onto it in a second, but might as well keep it on the ACU for now and do as much damage as possible. A lot of spam coming out from Lextok and kind of shifting left towards Renzilla's side of the map. Still more bombers coming out and circling overhead from Legend Lore, who is definitely keeping the bomber race going. Renzilla throwing an upgrade on his comm there, and he's working on interceptors for now. So everyone's got their role in Team 2. Decent little bomb there from Legend Lore. Takes out a couple of units of build capacity. In fact, maybe 3? No, I think it's... is that another one there? Yeah, no. 2 engineers taken out in the center of Strogo's base there. Circling interceptors, however, from that Brannigan. Managed to shoot that bomber down before too much devastation is wrought. Meanwhile, Lextok continues to press over in the west. And Renzilla with nothing but labs at the moment. That's not going to hold up much resistance against those Mantis. Another unit of build capacity down. Interesting tactic. Lots and lots of hunters. It's the most labs I think I've seen produced in a game for I don't know how long, but Renzilla trying a fake out here, pretending he's going to build a little thing of PD, and it is in fact just 9 units of wall sections. But there is a mole kicking about in there, and that seems to be, or have been, enough to stall Lextok's attack there. So well done to him. Potentially could have been some damage inflicted there. It's amazing what a little bit of fakery does. Of course, this stage in the map, there are air units in play, but they're relatively few and far between, so you can get away with stuff like that. It's not going to be instantly scouted. Jolly throwing down a land factory just to the right of center, and that's definitely grabbing more than his fair share of territory. Legend Lore is set up here in the valley, got his ACU in play down there as well. Plasma cannon online, and now he's working on a railgun as well, some T1 static anti-air just to make sure he hasn't got any threats to worry about from the sky in the early game. More bombers from Legend Lore working on this pile of T1 spam and actually picking up quite a few kills there, although the bombers slowly getting thinned out by Zap's Air Force there. Renzilla trying to get involved with his own interceptors, but hasn't quite got enough to retain control on that side of things. And look at what's gone down in the middle. That early upgrade on Voodoo's ACU has actually done wonders for Team 2. It looked like they were going to lose the center in the opening minutes of this one, but they managed to reclaim it with a little bit of an Oblivion creep. And now we've got a T2 TAC missile launcher up in the center, and it looks like Voodoo is using it to go after Lextok's Eco. But one Zapper out front, in fact 2 Zappers soon to be, is enough to protect those core mexes from the TAC missile attack. Say that too many times quickly. Another missile away, and this time Voodoo switching it up over further to the east. Looks like now he's going after Strogo. See, it comes in. There's no TMD in play for the moment. T2 mechs down there for Strogo. That takes him down from 39 mass per tick to 33. Taking a quick look at Eco, though, Lextok, if he's not reclaiming, is running away with this one a little bit. 60 mass per tick. Voodoo in second, more or less. Actually, Zap and Voodoo kind of level pegging, 37, 38, and then everybody else is sub that, 33s, 26s, and everything. But Lextok ecoing like it's going out of fashion. Zap Brannigan busy getting an upgrade on his comm there, left and north of center. Take a look at what that is in just a moment. Mephi now with some T2 units to assist his comm. That parashield hovering around, nothing more annoying actually than a bit of shield coverage around an ACU early on. It turns it into an even more formidable weapon than they are already. Renzilla throwing down some Cerberus turrets. T2 engineering suite on his comm there, taking his ACU up to 13,500. It's amazing the difference it makes getting that engineering suite, especially on the Cybran comm, which is so light on HP already. Legend Lore moving out to the front. He's taken a little bit of a beating. He's into the yellow, but just about. It's about to go green on regen, I think. Coming up to around the 9,000 hit point mark. Advances forward and starts picking off a few units belonging to Jolly there, and Jolly's actually going to back up with the rest of his Auroras. Can't tackle firepower of that magnitude. Voodoo, meanwhile, still busy building emplacements in the center of the map. More Oblivion turrets on the way, some T1 PD as well to deal with any of the little stuff that might be coming his way. But to be honest, actually, Team 2 keeping a relatively wide berth of the center, making sure that the majority of their plays are coming around the edges, flanking maneuvers, putting pressure on both Legend Lore and Renzilla, and Mephi seems to be sort of moving between the two and assisting. A little bit of a drop brewing here for Zap Brannigan, but has he been too late to drop them off? Yes, he has. In comes a wave of fighters from Voodoo and Renzilla. They'll pop that in one pass. It looked like only a handful of T1 units on board. Nothing that Zap Brannigan couldn't afford to lose, but still annoying nonetheless. It all takes CPM to put together. Zap Brannigan going to concern himself with defense for a moment. He started a Clink Hammer, in fact. That got around 50% complete, and now he's switching it up to other emplacements, presumably in the face of Mephi's advance. Got a lot of units down here, some T2 in the mix, and of course the commander as well. Zap's going to try and get together a triad, but I think that might be just a fraction later than he should have started it. Going to complete. I don't think it's going to matter either way. There's Lobos in the area. Yes, it does complete, but Mephi with just a little bit of a concerted effort here, push, be able to take it out. There it goes. There is the T1 PD a little bit further back, but that hasn't got any wall section, so that should be relatively easy to take down. Remember, we do have Lobos in this mix as well, and now Zap Brannigan needs his Leela like a man has ever needed a woman. He's backing up out of there, taking an awful lot of fire, down to around 9,000 hit points and falling, down to around 8,000 and falling. A lot of damage coming off this pile of units from Mephi, as well, of course, as the firepower incoming from Mephi's ACU. Down goes the Clink Hammer, and Zap Brannigan finds himself in dire straits here inside the first 12 minutes. 5,000 hit points remaining. He's inside the shield. Nice little overcharge, takes down the parashield, but he goes into red. Surely this is it for Zap. 2,000 hit points remaining. Oh, this is going to be close. He needs a rank of veterancy down to the hundreds, and he gets it. I don't believe it. 2,500 hit points remain. He continues to back up. There's still a lot of units on the field. We've even got some T2 in here. We've got pillars. There are mongoose around here. Overcharge takes down the pillar. He needs to continue to dodge, though, because of all of the Lobo fire incoming. He's down to 1,000 hit points again. Takes another volley to the face. Little bit of a juke here and there. This is great micro from Zap. I cannot believe he's alive. Some reinforcements coming in of his own, making overcharge deals with another couple of units of Lobos, but he has to continue to micro if he wants to stay alive for any longer in this game. 1,500 hit points remaining, and I literally do not believe it. There's more units down here, but I actually don't think Mephi is going to continue to press. Zap, what are you doing? Go home, son. You're tired. You need a rest. Bombers getting shot down as well, coming in trying to finish it off. That was severely intense. I actually can't believe it. Team 2 must be enraged. That's the kind of thing that makes you see red when a commander gets away on that small amount of health. Zap now concerning himself with some turrets. He needs to make a stand, and he needs to protect that commander, and he's going to start that off by throwing down some plasma cannons. Meanwhile, a little bit of a push down here from Legend Lore. He's got a whole band of mongoose, picks off a mech there, and is now going after Jolly's land factory, which is nestled down in the valley there. Mephi deciding to give up on that pursuit of the commander is going to shift right, but he's going to run into Lexstock space, and there's just a ton of T2 PD in there. Woeful as the Cerberus turret is in terms of damage, it's going to be enough to shut down this little push. That was probably a little bit of an error from Mephi, but Strap Bombers coming in over the top from Voodoo. Zap Brannigan back down to 1,000 hit points. He's got a whole new set of problems. He immediately started working on point defense, but neglected the skies. He's trying to get together a shield gen. We've got interceptors from Voodoo trying to clean up Team 1's air so that the Strap Bombers can have a free run. This could be it right now, but a nice little bit of micro confuses the Strap Bomber enough for Zap Brannigan to stay alive for another pass. Now he's going to get the shield gen online. You can bet that Voodoo isn't giving up on this. I bet there's going to be another Strap Bomber coming in soon. Bomb impacts on the shield, and you can see the T2 shield gen's only 9,000 hit points on the shield itself. So it only takes a few bombs to deplete that. Zap immediately goes to work on railgun production to try and deal with this threat. But now we've got ASFs joining the picture from Voodoo. That's way ahead in terms of tech than anybody else for Team 1. No one else can deal with the ASFs at the moment. So Voodoo's only real concern is the ground fire that's coming in. Another Strap Bomber hits directly on top of Brannigan while the shield is down, takes him to about 200 hit points, but the shield blinks back on in the nick of frickin' time. It's going to be able to block one more bomb, but then it is officially depleted, and surely this marks the end for Brannigan. He's two-stepping like it's going out of fashion. 700-800 hit points on that comm. He's going to take a freaking miracle to survive this. Another bombing run. Oh my god, this must be winding Voodoo up. He cannot land a bomb on top of this commander. This is great micro here, confusing the SOPCOM engine as best it can. It's one of the great features of SOPCOM and the way it plays. And there the bomb didn't even get dropped. I don't believe it. 1,800 hit points. He's actually regenning here, but still no help in the air whatsoever from the rest of his teammates. They've been caught completely unawares by Voodoo and his leap into the T3 air game. Oh my god. I think this is the longest and most painful ACU dance I've ever had to watch. And of course, all the while this is going on, Renzilla is backing up around the back with T2 units. Brannigan cannot concern himself with anything right now other than trying to keep the commander alive. Scout planes buzzing overhead, sorry, spy planes buzzing overhead for Voodoo. Again, doesn't get a solution on that pass. Does get one on this phone though, and that lands directly on, takes him down to about 35 hit points. How did that not kill him? I can't believe it. Missing everything that's going on elsewhere on the map, but this is sensational stuff. I don't know how he's alive. Jolly is buzzing overhead. He's got some swift wins on the field. Will that be enough to finish off these strats? It takes a while. There's 3,800 hit points on each one. Another bombing run coming in. Oh my god, doesn't manage to get the bomb off. And down goes the strat. Is there another one? There is another Strat Bomber on the way. But Brannigan immediately starts construction of another shield. And you can bet as many railguns as he can produce in that time are going to emerge. Look how many he's queued up. He's got a whole new set of issues though. In comes some rhinos back here. And he switches up to point defense. Some plasma cannons. Tripping over my words with excitement on this one. I cannot believe it. Voodoo must be fuming. I would be absolutely enraged, and it actually looks like he's given up. He's got more pressing concerns now. The defense of his own territory. Large group of units in the center belonging to Strogo and Lexstock. Eclectic mix of T1 and T2. We've got mobile missile launchers in there for both Cybran and Seraphim units. So as a result, he's going to have to think very carefully about where he places his bombers. Goes actually after the eco for Jolly a little bit. Lands one strap on top, but of course it takes about 3 of those to take out a T3 mechs. Meanwhile, Renzilla's little run by around the back is still intact. Brannigan again throwing up lines of T1 PD. Oh, hoplites, go after the build capacity. They're building more things that can kill you. And now the engineers will die a very unpleasant death, and that leaves Brannigan's main base very vulnerable indeed. But at least he's in the game. He didn't expect he's going to throw an upgrade on his comm. I bet you that's tech. Needs to get some health back on that ACU before he runs into another snipe attempt. But what a passage of play. It was about 4 or 5 minutes of sheer nail-biting, edge-of-your-seat stuff there for Brannigan. He survived in only the way Zap Brannigan can. And now we've got some Clinkhammer fire coming across from Legend Lore, bombarding Jolly's forward T2 mechs there. And Legend Lore is actually going to push with his comm as well. Needs to be a little bit careful. There's T3 emerging on the ground for Jolly. A few harbs kicking around. We've got a GC on the way as well, potentially. What have we got building down here? Well, Jolly is actually pushing in the south. Cheeky little run by with some harbs and obsidians. But he's going to run into a home guard of pillars and strikers. Mephi actually heading south as well. It's going to be far too much for Jolly to hope to break through now, and with Triads going up further back as well, that's definitely going to be all she wrote for that attack. Good defensive coverage there from Team 2 on the ground. I'm still jazzing over that survival. That was actually insane. That's to go down in the annals of history as one of the most outrageous escapes ever. More TAC missiles incoming to the east, going after Jolly's base. Has got a TMD. Of course, Aeon TMD, pretty darn proficient at keeping things safe. Renegades out for Lextok, who has been harassing some of these T2 units from Renzilla. Trouble is, it's got bangers in the mix. That makes it kind of difficult to counter with Renegades. But Brannigan and his main base essentially down and out now. He has got a decent little production base going on here, but you can see he's sitting on 2 mass. That will be because of power issues that he's been having. Should actually be a little bit hard now. He's got one T2 mechs over here that's operational. See, it's slowly starting to recover now, up to around 11, 13. Lextok moves in his commander. That's the way to do it. Overcharge these units at the back. But still good harassment from Renzilla. What's going on here over in the east? Swift Winds versus Cyclones. The T1 Interceptor for UEF. Huge quantity disparity. Quantity versus tech. But Jolly sweeping around for a better position, but today quantity wins the fight. And Renzilla continuing to push over here in the west. Going to run into Zap Brannigan's ACU. He's actually got the gun upgrade on there. He's got the gun upgrade and the, yeah, he has 18,000, so it's doubly upgraded, and he's looking so much healthier than he did a little while ago. There we go, Zeph Amp and the T2 Engineering Suite. It is nice to see you so well, sir. Looked a little peaky a while ago. You weren't sure you were going to make it. And Renzilla is going to back up out of there with the rest of his T2 units. Legend Lore pushing up here with a horde of Lobos. Can take down that T2 radar. It'll be a shame for Team 1. Will have been giving us some decent intel. You can see this is now a bit of a blank spot over here. That would have been covering all of that nicely. But another little run by from Jolly. I suppose it's not really a run by because there's defensive positions in play here that's going to be able to stall this. His best bet would be to try and take this out maybe. Pile through Renzilla. He's only got T2 in there. The Harbs should be able to deal with it, although the ACU from Legend Law, the units down here, and of course all of this pack from Mephi are stone's throw away. So limited possibilities for advancement there, I would suggest. That GC that Jolly was starting earlier is getting a little bit more build power attention now. That's up to around 35,000 HP. So 35% on that. Legend Law moving in now with those Lobos, and the power grid's pretty exposed here for Strogo. And they managed to claim one T2 P-Gen in there. Notha's coming in at the same time, piling on the pressure, and in comes a Revenant from Lextok, so he has transitioned into T3 Air. So we've got T3 Land and Air in play from Lextok, in play from Jolly. Just about everyone, in fact, now except Zap Brannigan, and you can totally understand why. He has had a rough old time of things at the start of this one. But this is definitely the weakest link in the armor now for Team 1. Renzilla letting him off slightly lightly in this one. Might be seeing some T3 marching up this side of the map. But so far that's not been forthcoming. Renzilla, of course, as we said at the beginning, coming off that sabbatical, getting back into the game a little bit more. It's always nice to see old regulars return. Voodoo chilling in his base. Probably gone AFK after that disgusting bout of luck from Brannigan. He's just gone. He's like, I've had enough of this. This is BS. Mephi throwing an upgrade on his comm there. He's going to get some T3 power as well. Self-destructing a few redundant facilities there. Make a bit of room. But Voodoo with a GC in play, and he looks like he's sending that down to the southeast to deal with this little push from Jolly, which is a lot of Harbs in there. We're looking at 10 Harbingers. Make a mess of your army if you let it. But we do have a GC coming in from Jolly. That finally completed. Legend Law on an upgrade on his comm. It is nearly finished, but of course GC will outpace an ACU in no time at all. Legend Law has been caught napping here. Voodoo is coming in with his own GC, but if Jolly is committed and strolls straight in, he could pick Legend Law off here, but he's not going to do it. He might not have been aware that that was the comm. Oh, he should have been. It's showing up on their intel, so he knew that was the commander. He should have suicided that GC and tried to take out the commander, but perhaps, just perhaps, Lextok can get it done without that having to happen. 3 Revenants circling overhead. Strap Bombers haven't had a lot of luck in this one, but that could be about to change. And they're not going after Legend Law, they're going after Voodoo's GC. And it does actually make sense. Take care of that, and that's the last line of defense before Legend Law's comm. And in fact, they're not even going to need it. The Harbingers come in from the south and start primering the ACU. That goes down into the red. 2,500 hit points remaining. He gets a rank of veterans. He gets him back up into the yellow, but it's only temporary. Oh my god, he's running out of Harbingers. It's going to be really, really close. Boom, baby. Legend Law bows out of this. Team 2 lose a player at minute 26. That is great play. I was wondering what Team 1 are doing, and quite frankly, that's why I'm not a pro and these guys are, because their situational awareness is phenomenal. There was no need to risk losing that Colossus. They can send the Revenants in and pin the commander up against the wall with that group of Harbs, which has been sitting there for like the last 5 or 10 minutes. Team 2 just not able to get rid of it. Stock now scooting out to the west, and this is looking like a dangerous little force in the middle here from Team 1. A lot of bricks on the field and not very much down here to stop it. There's another GC that's been started by Voodoo, but that's only 24% complete. That's got a long way to go, and they haven't got a lot of time to do it. Eco is thin on the ground. Voodoo's dispatching his engineers to try and scoop up some of the mass that suddenly become available with the destruction of Legend Law's base, but surely it's not going to be enough. Lexstock coming in with a wave of Revenants. Where's it going to bomb? Is it going straight after Voodoo's comm? Yes, it is. Oh my god, Voodoo survives that pass, 280 odd hit points. Revenant's going to get another turn of that. For some reason, Lexstock hasn't turned on their stealth, but I think Voodoo is about to bow out of the game. That first one gets picked off, and it gets the bomb away, and that's all he needs. Voodoo joins Legend Law on the proverbial ethereal scrap heap of ACUs and bows out of this one at the beginning of the 28th minute, just 2 minutes later than his colleague. And now we've got a GC from Jolly that is just strolling in the front door. Mephi with seemingly nothing to counter it. Down goes the remnants of Voodoo's base. Renzilla is coming in from the north, but it's all T2. They're going to struggle to deal with those bricks. The bricks that are now bearing down on Mephi's comm, but they might not need those either, because those crucial revenants from Lexstock coming in over the top and dealing yet more damage to another ACU. Mephi down to 3,000 hit points. Another bomb comes in, down to 300. The next one doesn't get a bomb off, but the next one does. Mephi goes out again in the 28th minute, albeit to the end of it, leaving just Renzilla. That is going to be game. I cannot believe how quickly Team 2 crumpled in this. The game looked even. The game actually looked even, and it just fell apart out of nowhere. Renzilla starting on experimental spider bot there, getting a monkey lore, but that is going to be too little too late. And Renzilla control cases comm and everything else. Game Team 1 in 29 minutes. Outstanding play, but man of the match, he didn't necessarily do anything to hurt his opponents, but man of the match, Mr. Zap Brannigan. What stardate is it, Kip? April 13th. Yeah, Skeptid's log. Stardate April 13th.2. Well done, Zap. You did yourself proud. Love it. Hope you enjoyed it too, guys. Anyway, more from me next time. In the meantime, stay well and stay safe. This is Gyle, signing out.